Y'all, this story has everything: romance, betrayal, drama, and some seriously shocking revelations that are about to shake the music industry to its core. Let me set the stage for you. SZA, our queen, is officially stepping into the spotlight for the 2025 Super Bowl halftime show. But hold on to your seats, because this isn't just any regular performance announcement. The real bombshell here is that she's teaming up with none other than Kendrick Lamar. And if you know anything about the current state of hip-hop drama, you know this collaboration is loaded with deeper meaning. We're talking about some serious shade being thrown at Drake. And there are these absolutely wild rumors circulating about Drake's past behavior with SZA when they were dating. Trust me when I say this Super Bowl performance might just expose everything we've been speculating about.
So yesterday, Kendrick Lamar announced one of his guest performances for the Super Bowl, and it is SZA. Let's take a look.
Now let me break this down for you detail by detail, because every single piece of this puzzle is absolutely crucial. It's officially confirmed. SZA will be sharing the massive Super Bowl stage with Kendrick Lamar for the 2025 halftime show. And let's not pretend we don't all know about the intense, years-long beef between Kendrick and Drake. Their rivalry has given us some of the most explosive, jaw-dropping diss tracks the industry has ever witnessed. But here's where it gets really serious. One of those tracks had Kendrick making some extremely heavy allegations about Drake's character, particularly regarding his behavior toward younger women. The implications were crystal clear, and they were devastating.
Giving the body emotion, getting that wind up. You know, this field a lot bigger than what people think, so that's a must. Exactly. Now, I've been thinking about a guest performance.
But wait, because this story is about to get even spicier, the word spreading through industry circles is that Kendrick might actually have the audacity, and I mean this in the best possible way, to perform one of those very diss tracks during the halftime show. Yes, you heard that right, in front of literally the whole world. And who's gonna be right there on that stage backing him up? None other than SZA herself. The internet is absolutely exploding over this possibility, and honestly, I totally understand why. Let's rewind for a moment though, because there's some crucial background you need to understand. Did you know that SZA and Drake actually had a thing back in the day? And trust me, what I'm about to tell you about their relationship will make your jaw drop. According to multiple sources, their split wasn't just your typical celebrity breakup. There are some seriously concerning rumors floating around suggesting that one of the main reasons for their separation was Drake's allegedly creepy behavior towards her. Some insiders are even saying he harassed her during their time together. Now, looking at SZA's decision to perform with Kendrick, who's been so vocal about calling Drake out, well, this feels way too perfectly planned to be just a coincidence.
A genius with the genius, Luther, 30 for 30. Like, would you and Kendrick together consider doing a joint album? Like, we would love to see. I would love that. I would love that.
The plot thickens even further with SZA's recent Rolling Stone cover story, where she finally opened up about her brief relationship with Drake back in 2009. The way she described their romance is raising so many eyebrows you wouldn't believe it. She called it childish, emphasizing, "We were really young, it wasn't hot and heavy or anything, it was like youth vibes, it was so childish." But here's where things get really interesting. Drake first brought up their past in his 2020 collaboration, Mr. Right Now, with 21 Savage, where he rapped about dating SZA back in 2008. What happened next was very telling. SZA immediately jumped onto social media to correct the timeline, specifically stating it was actually 2009, adding, "I just didn't want anybody thinking anything underage or creepy was happening, completely innocent, lifetimes ago."
So it was this boy that I, just like a boy that I liked and I've been seeing, and we had like been kind of talking, and like I wasn't giving him any play because I liked my boyfriend.
Right. Now, let's pause and think about this for a second, because this detail is absolutely crucial. Why did SZA feel such an urgent need to clarify the timeline? What was it about Drake's seemingly innocent lyric about their dating history that made her rush to make sure people didn't get the wrong idea about any potential underage situations? The whole response gave off major damage control vibes, and many people are starting to see it as perhaps the first breadcrumb leading us to a much bigger, more concerning picture about Drake's pattern of behavior with younger women.
It's a big deal because it was something that I like knew about already. Like, I obviously know that we talked to each other when I was a lot younger and when he was a lot younger, and like.
Speaking of patterns, we absolutely cannot ignore the fact that Drake has been called out multiple times for behavior that many people have labeled as deeply problematic. Remember that absolutely cringe-worthy concert moment that still makes everyone uncomfortable just thinking about it? He brought a 17-year-old girl up on stage and started making these incredibly inappropriate comments like, "I can't go to jail yet, man," before kissing her on the cheek. The audience was visibly uncomfortable, and these clips continue to circulate as evidence of his questionable behavior around younger women.
Y'all gonna have me get carried away again. I get in trouble for this. How old are you?
But that's not even close to the end of it, because we absolutely have to talk about the Millie Bobby Brown situation. When she was just 14 years old, let that sink in for a moment, she revealed that she and Drake were regularly texting each other and talking about how much they missed each other. I mean, seriously, what possible reason could a grown man have for maintaining that kind of relationship with a teenage girl? The whole situation set off alarm bells for many people in the industry and beyond.
A great friend and a great role model. You know, we just texted each other the other day, and he was like, "I miss you so much." I was like, "I miss you more." About boys, he helps me. What? Yeah. He's great. He's wonderful. I love him. What's his advice with boys? You know, that stays in the text messages.
All of these incidents have people looking at Drake's behavior patterns with increasingly critical eyes, especially now that Kendrick has been so bold in calling him out in his diss tracks for his apparent preference for younger women. When you add SZA's past with Drake into this already complicated mixture, people are starting to connect dots that paint a very disturbing picture of what might have been going on behind the scenes.
This was backstage and I heard like Drake in 20, and then I was like, what? And then when I saw it, I was like, this is insane. But
Now, here's where the drama really starts to intensify. When the feud between Drake and Kendrick first started heating up, SZA probably thought she could maintain her distance and stay neutral. But that's not how things played out at all. Somehow, she got pulled right into the center of their beef when Drake, who was supposedly her friend at one point, had the absolute nerve to name drop her in a leaked diss track aimed at Kendrick and his team. In Push-Ups, Drake rapped these lines that had everyone talking. "Pipsqueak pipe down, you ain't in no big three. SZA got you wiped down, Travis got you wiped down, Savage got you wiped down, like your label boy you in the scope right now." The audacity of bringing her into this situation really had people questioning his motives. But SZA? She handled the situation like absolute royalty. Her response was perfect. She took to Instagram stories and posted that iconic Nene Leakes clip from The Real Housewives of Atlanta saying, "Now why am I in this? You see how I get thrown into it? I ain't even did nothing."
Now why am I in it?
And you could have did it.
See how I get thrown into
You
it?
never
I didn't do
apologized.
that.
The internet absolutely lost it over her response, and honestly, it was the perfect way to address the situation without adding more fuel to the fire. But let's be completely honest here. Why was she even brought into this mess in the first place? Drake mentioning her name felt completely unnecessary, especially given their complicated history. To many observers, it looked like he was simply using her name to stir up more drama and possibly trying to force her to pick sides in his ongoing feud with Kendrick. But now, looking back at everything that went down throughout 2024, it's becoming increasingly clear that SZA might have been quietly aligned with Team Kendrick all along. From her multiple performances with him to those subtle but pointed comments in various interviews, all the signs were there if you knew where to look.
Okay, is Drake a good kisser?
Oh.
That's why I said fuck you in advance.
Oh, I like you. Hey, you.
I knew you were gonna do something that was so...
And then there was that absolutely iconic moment during her Hot Ones interview that had everyone talking. When the host had the audacity to ask SZA about Drake's kissing abilities, yes, they really went there. Her response spoke volumes. She chose to suffer through that incredibly spicy wing rather than answer the question. Everyone knows that's the universal signal for "there's tea here that I'm not ready to spill." While she tried to play it off with laughter and comments about their youth, the way she dodged that question had people wondering if there was something more serious that she wasn't ready to share with the world.
Is he good kisser?
Wow. Y'all mean this?
I don't want to, it hurts.
You're a real
We were
OG.
children. We were children. That was the sound of lies.
The speculation has been intense, with many suggesting that SZA might have experienced something particularly troubling during her brief relationship with Drake. And let's be completely honest here, Drake's history with women in the industry isn't exactly stellar. Take his relationship with Rihanna, for example. Their on-again, off-again situation dominated entertainment news throughout the 2010s. Drake even made that very public declaration of love for her at an awards show. But then those unsettling rumors started circulating about Drake potentially crossing boundaries with her, similar to the situation with Chris Brown. While Rihanna has maintained her silence on the matter, the palpable tension between them over the years speaks volumes about what might have transpired behind closed doors.
She's someone I've been in love with since I was 22 years old.
We also can't forget about his relationships with Serena Williams and Yoria Smith. Looking at Drake's dating history, there's a clear pattern emerging. He's consistently positioned himself as this nice, sensitive guy who swoops in but somehow never manages to maintain a lasting relationship. The pattern is impossible to ignore: multiple women, no substantial commitments, and always these whispers of drama and discomfort once the relationships end. It's giving major nice guy energy, but definitely not in the way he probably intends.
Corny because him and Serena have beef right now.
Wait a minute, he has beef with Serena?
Drake consistently mentions Serena, so when Kendrick came out and slammed Drake, he explicitly said, don't mention Serena.
But here's where things get even more complicated. SZA has actually hinted at something that makes this whole situation even more serious. She suggested that Drake might have actively tried to sabotage her music career. While she hasn't revealed all the details, fans are connecting dots and speculating that her struggles in the industry might be directly linked to whatever happened between them. Given Drake's enormous influence in the music world, it's not hard to imagine how SZA might have felt manipulated or overshadowed during crucial moments in her career development. Then came their 2023 collaboration, Slime You Out. While the track hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, the behind-the-scenes drama was intense. In her revealing WSJ magazine interview, SZA didn't hold back about her disappointment with how the collaboration was handled. Drake used her first take of the vocals instead of her carefully refined second version, leading her to openly express concerns about potential sabotage. The whole situation left fans wondering about the true nature of their professional relationship and what it might reveal about their personal history. The drama didn't stop there. Remember that whole mess with Halle Berry in the cover art? Drake used her Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards slime moment without even asking for permission. Halle's response was absolutely legendary. She took to Instagram with that pointed message, "Sometimes you have to be the bigger person even if you're a woman," later adding that devastating follow-up, "When people you admire disappoint you, you have to be the bigger person and move on." The shade in those comments was impossible to miss, but perhaps the most revealing moment came during SZA's interview with Kendrick Lamar for Harper's Bazaar's 2024 November Voices issue. The conversation they had was absolutely loaded with subtext. When discussing his track They Not Like Us, Kendrick explained his perspective on conflict, stating he's not simply an angry person but believes in the balance between love and war. He spoke about being a man of morals and values, and while he never mentioned Drake by name, everyone knew exactly who he was talking about. And SZA, her reaction during this conversation spoke volumes. She was completely aligned with everything Kendrick was saying, suggesting she might have her own reasons for supporting his perspective.
Because we, the thousands of Drake's exes and shows, have voted to join forces
and officially unionize as the United Kings of Austin.
It is time that we stand up and fight for our rights.
So now we're all left wondering about these massive questions. Is SZA's decision to perform with Kendrick at the Super Bowl her way of finally taking a definitive stand in this ongoing drama? Could all of these separate incidents, her complicated history with Drake, the tension surrounding Slime You Out, and now her apparent alliance with Kendrick, be pieces of a larger puzzle we're just beginning to understand? And perhaps most importantly, are we finally reaching a tipping point where Drake's pattern of behavior is going to face real scrutiny, especially now that influential artists like SZA are seemingly standing with Kendrick? Don't forget to drop your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the most explosive celebrity drama. Trust me, you won't want to miss what comes next in this ongoing saga.